Well, as we start to end our section here on kind of giving you an update on the company, there's one last thing I want to do, and I'm sure many of you could actually do these slides like you could do some of the slides I've already done, but I think it's really critical because we have so many people in the room and because it's the foundation of the conference to level set everyone on basically just three slides that today represent the fundamental product strategy of salesforce.com. And the first thing that I really want to talk about is the very heart of the system itself, the infrastructure. We call it force.com infrastructure. Many of you know that. You use it every day. And at the very beginning, the beginning of all, and there's no finish line when it comes to this, is security. Many of you know we have ISO 27001 security, that every transaction is SSL encoded, that we have identity protection, and many, many other security protections on both the physical and logical layers of salesforce.com. But what many of you don't realize is a lot of the power and the reason that salesforce.com is so secure is because of you. Never a day goes by that a security team, and I'm sure many of you have met one of our really great executives and one of our founders, Jim Cavallari, who's our Chief Trust Officer, comes in, meets with us, reviews our security, goes through our data centers, does code reviews with us. We have learned so much from you. It's a tremendous model. I think that as a vendor, we are probably so fortunate that we have that kind of that virtuous cycle. And many of you have asked us to come to your organizations and teach you what we know about security. It starts with security. It moves on to reliability. In the last quarter, we delivered approximately 5 nines of reliability, and in the quarter before that, we delivered in 5 nines of reliability as well. Some of our very highest levels of reliability have been happening this year, and it's thanks to the very strong technology team run by Klaus, who you know, and many of the people who keep those systems going day and night. And the scalability to get to some of the largest implementations in the world with almost 100,000 users. It's at an organization like Japan Post, or maybe just 10 users. It's irrelevant to us, but to have a system that has that scalability is absolutely mission critical for us to be able to deliver on our vision of cloud computing. With an average speed of 300 milliseconds, and with our trust website that we pioneered, trust.salesforce.com, we continue to encourage every cloud computing company to adopt this premise. Many of them have, many of them have not. We think that transparency is one of the absolute keys to success in this area, because without transparency, we can't have your trust. A few months ago, we have introduced an incredible new technology called the 5-minute upgrade. How many people here have already heard about the 5-minute upgrade? Raise your hands. Not too many. Let me just take a few minutes about it. Now, many of you know we have 3 global data centers. And those 3 global data centers are basically on standby and active support all the time. And what that means, if for some reason one of those data centers was to have a catastrophic disaster and was not able to work, something happened that would completely disable it, another data center would automatically come on with a few minutes. Just happen. And we would test that, of course, on a regular basis. Now, we're one of the only cloud computing companies that have really made the significant investment required for that. But then we asked ourselves a really important question. Well, since we're running basically 2 data centers in parallel, what if when we're doing the upgrade on one data center, we keep the other data center running? So when the system is down for between 2 and 4 hours receiving the new version of Salesforce, we'll just point everybody to the other data center, and we'll put them in real read-only mode. And during that time, the maximum outage that you'll be without any system access or data access is now only 5 minutes. Pretty incredible, and I just have to thank my technology team under the leadership of Parker Harris for this tremendous breakthrough, and I believe we're the only company in the industry that has done this advancement. Now, you probably also know we do about 200 million complex database transactions a day. That means that, on an average quarter, we're doing about 15 to 20 billion complex transactions. But what you may not know, more than half of those transactions are other computers calling us for data. And that API remains one of the richest and most used aspects of salesforce.com, and you've proven that cloud computing is all about integration. And our sandbox environments, where you can build and easily deploy to other systems. And you're going to see tomorrow in our platform keynote some tremendous advancements in the sandbox environment. And Salesforce to Salesforce, the ability to build small private tunnels in between tenants of different Salesforce instances to be able to move data back and forth between suppliers and vendors, or between vendors and partners, or even between different divisions in the same company. And it's all backed up, as I mentioned, by our 3 global data centers and disaster recovery, and built on our multi-tenant kernel. Now, we're going to go into more detail on this tomorrow. Tomorrow's the platform keynote. But before I do the applications, I just want you to remember that the applications are built on the solid infrastructure. And then the next key to our strategy is to take this infrastructure and to put on top of it the application development environment, the force.com development platform. And what that means is you can start by adding and creating, and you've built tens of millions of customizations. You fully customize the system. You build database tables and database fields and page layouts. We have a programmable user interface now, so if you don't like our user interface, you can create any user interface you want with Visual Force. You've written hundreds of millions of lines of code with Apex running on our system, programmable cloud logic. Last year at this time, we introduced to you our website creation capability, the ability to create real-time websites. And you have created websites that now deliver almost 200 million pages every single day. Any force.com application can instantly become a secure website, either a public website or a private internet site. It's one of our most loved features on our platform. And any application can go mobile. We also released this year our integrated content library, and George Hu will have some big announcements about that in a few moments. The ability to manage and integrate all your content information in real time. Analytics, so that you can use the reporting and the dashboards at many different levels, and so you'll see some incredible extensions to that. And just released our knowledge management system. About a year and a half ago, we brought the leader in knowledge management, a company in France called Instranet, and we have worked for over 18 months to port it through Alex Dayon and his team to the force.com platform to build the first multi-tenant, shared, scalable, multi-language, secure knowledge management system. And you're going to get your access to it today, and you're going to see some tremendous demonstrations of it. And then you, ISVs, others have built over 850 applications that with just one click can add extra value to all of our other applications. So we have our infrastructure and we have our development platform. Now before I go on, I just have to ask the question, how many folks here feel like they have a pretty good understanding of these kind of the 20 chiclets that are on the screen? All right, I still actually have some work to do. Well, why don't we take the next 2 hours and go through each one of them again? Just kidding. But tomorrow at the platform keynote, we will drill in more into that detail. But the key for you to realize is it's the infrastructure plus the platform. And then on top of the platform is the applications. And the applications are the Sales Cloud, and we're kind of foreshadowing the next presentation. We're going to be showing you Sales Cloud 2, a major enhancement to our Sales Cloud. Service Cloud 2, which you may have been hearing about because we've been on a global tour launching that over the last 60 days. Custom Cloud 2, which we'll be talking about tomorrow, which will be a major new enhancement to our application development and deployment platform. And for those of you who know, we have these 3 clouds, the Sales Cloud, the Service Cloud, and the Custom Cloud. At the end of the presentation today, we're going to show you the fourth category that salesforce.com is going to go into. We're going to introduce you to a fourth cloud. We're going to move into a major new market segment, a multi-billion-dollar opportunity market, and it's the fourth cloud. And so by the end of the presentation, we will have filled in the fourth cloud. But before we do that, let's briefly take a look at the Sales Cloud 2 and Service Cloud 2. We're going to hold the Custom Cloud 2 until tomorrow morning.